Hi, what's going on everyone? I wanted to put up a video about the brain and how it reacts to the voices and thoughts in your head. Regardless of your spiritual standpoint, whether you think you're hearing a demon or if you believe it's schizophrenia, I really think this video will help you gain control of your own emotions and help with the realization of what's happening inside your brain with what you're experiencing. So let's start off with a few parts of the brain to better understand yourself. The neocortex and cerebellum are two sections where thoughts occur. Thoughts and words have the power to release positive or negative chemicals which make you feel positive or negative emotions in the limbic system, which is the epicenter of emotions in the brain. Within the limbic system, there are three main parts which make you feel emotional, and they are the anterior insular cortex. This section has to do with guilt and shame. The insula, which has to do with self-esteem and self-worth, and the amygdala. This is where you feel all of the chemicals that create emotions that are good and bad, such as anxiety or happiness. Let's take time out to explain which chemicals are good and bad, aka positive or negative. The positive chemicals are dopamines, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins, which all cause a form of happiness. The negative chemicals are cortisol, a chemical of stress, adrenaline, a chemical of anger, epinephrine, a chemical of fear and has adrenaline within it, and oxytocin, which can be released as a negative chemical, and that is the chemical of hate. So oxytocin is kind of a yin-yang chemical. It can be good or bad. The chemicals, be it positive or negative, are first released in your hypothalamus and then transferred over by neurons, neurotransmitters, and synapses to your amygdala, which is connected to the rest of the limbic system. So the voices / consciousness of hate are releasing chemicals of fear, anger, stress, and hate to create negative emotions in the amygdala, like I said, which is connected to the rest of the limbic system, which includes your self-esteem or self-worth in the insula, or making you feel guilt and shame in the anterior insular cortex. Our prefrontal cortex is where our control over our emotions are at, aka the limbic system. It's also where our willpower / will is, and where our cognitive functions are. And our reptilian brain is where your fight or flight mode is, aka defensive mechanism. Usually when you feel anger or fear, this is where your consciousness shifts to and you lose control, prefrontal cortex, over your emotions, limbic system, and shifts your consciousness to the reptilian brain, defensive mechanism. So when you come across the consciousness of hate or have a schizophrenic episode, know that it is trying to attack your limbic system to weaken your prefrontal cortex, control over your limbic system or emotions, and drag your consciousness down to the limbic system, the epicenter of emotions, and reptilian brain, the defensive mechanism. It lowers your energy and consciousness. It can also use alter egos, people you know or have seen before or are around, by reading your hippocampus where memories are stored. It does whatever it takes to attack your limbic system with negative chemicals and cause a division amongst you and that person. It even gives illusions in your mind. This is located in the pineal gland where dreams are occurred, and these illusions are no different from thoughts. They also secrete negative chemicals. When our consciousness is shifted into the limbic system and reptilian brain due to the negative chemicals, we tend to think with thoughts of stress, anger, fear, hate, or even have suicidal thoughts. Our thoughts, the voices, or even other people's words and actions have power over our emotions through chemicals, and our emotions have control of our will / willpower at times. It's time to learn how to control them. That's why it's good to listen to positive affirmations and meditate, because positive words and thoughts lead to positive chemicals. The more positive chemicals you secrete, the more control over the limbic system and reptilian brain you will have. Also, I'd like to add not to care what others think of you, because that's you giving control of your insula over to someone else. It's amazing how the mind is wired. The ego is a fragile consciousness. Always be kind to yourself. Do things that make you feel happy and know that you're always going to be loved by God. Speaking of, I know the consciousness of hate follows us to gain our attention and energy towards it, but try getting closer to God, the consciousness of love which rests in your heart. I recommend you watch the Son of God movie and with full faith believe that Yeshua, aka Jesus, is a family member looking out for everyone through love and died for our sins. Meditate and try focusing your energy on your heart to feel that energy inside. Also, please put in work to release positive chemicals. Here is a picture on how to do so. I'm sure you can do it. It gets easier day by day. I have faith in you. Stay strong and God bless. I'm here if you need me.